Hey, what's up? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this EU Masters 2-game slate on Sunday, April 3rd on DraftKings. All we got is a 2-game slate. These are just tiebreakers from the group stages. There was like a three-way tie for first and second in two of these groups, so they ended up belaying each other for the third time technically. You got Schalke playing against Movie Star Riders for the third time, and then you got Vodafone Giants playing LDLC for the third time. They split the games on the group stage. They went 1-1. You have Schalke winning the last one, and then you got and then LDLC winning the last one. Giants was on a two-game. They're on a two-game losing streak, if I remember correctly, and Schalke is like on a two-game winning streak. But before I get into the picks and everything, if you can subscribe, like, I really, really, really appreciate it. Comment if you have any questions. I gladly get back to you guys. If you have any input or ideas, I'll gladly get back to you guys on those too. But I've been killing my picks lately, I think. As far as like cash and stuff, playing like the favorites, I feel like I've been doing pretty good on my picks. Then my upsets, if there is an upset, I usually call the upset. So I'm feeling pretty confident with my picks lately. Hopefully I can keep it up. I mean, I'm like kind of on a hot streak right now, so I'm trying to keep going. But you can't win them all, but I'm trying my best here. So we got Vodafone Giants. I really, really like them over LDLC. LDLC did beat them this last time out, but the Giants, before their two-game losing streak, they were playing really, really good. They were looking like a really good team. So what I'm hoping is that over this, like they last played on Wednesday, that they just fixed it. They turned it around. Hopefully they put some practicing, and I think they probably would have worked on their champ select is where they were having trouble. Is just their team comps weren't really working out compared to their first couple games. And then you got Schalke versus Movie Stars, where I'm a little more torn. I like Schalke and I do like Movie Star Riders. They're both slower teams. They're not really fast-paced teams, but I think Movie Star Riders thrives off of that. So if Movie Star can slow the game down a lot, I think they can punish Schalke for that. Last time that they won, Schalke, I only think that they won because Movie Star picked a jungler that just didn't. The champ just doesn't really fit into any comp. They were doing fine with that champ, but as the game goes on, usually every player has their role, and yeah, I feel like your role gets bigger the longer the game goes on, and your responsibility gets way bigger. And that champ that they had the jungler on didn't really like carry himself well into the late game. So hopefully they pick like a normal jungler this next time up. I think they win. So as of right now, I am leaning on that one to be the upset. Movie Star beating Schalke. But if you just want to play cash, follow the crowd. I can see Schalke and Vodafone Giants stack working just fine, which I will be playing as well. But I think I'm going to be playing more Movie Star and Vodafone Giants. Just going to take a chance today, but feel pretty confident in it. Then you got position by position. You got top laners. Bando leads every player actually in the entire EU Masters in deaths per game. He had a game where he had two games where he had 7 deaths and a game where he had 11. So that does skew the numbers a little bit, but if Antonio can jump on that, I can see this being a pretty easy game. But Antonio, I mean, he has issues with dying as well. He's dying 3.7 times per game. So that top lane is going to be pretty crazy. I think it's going to come up to the jungler, whichever jungler does show up to that top lane and puts that early pressure. I think is where it's going to come down to, honestly. Because the bottom lane in that game, in all these games, is a lot of them don't die that much. They're pretty passive. Other than the AD carry for Giants, which I'll get into when I get there. But for like junglers, I do just like the junglers that I'm picking to win. So like the Antonio, some Beansu, and a little bit of sleeping, I guess. Beansu's really, really cheap, but he's not that good either. I'm not a huge fan of him. He's probably just a savings for the team. Hasn't shown me too much. And then you got the jungler. Llama Bear and Tinks are probably my favorite jungler, which is they're playing against each other. So like I mentioned, whichever jungler shows up early game and can put that early pressure in the top lane, I think is going to come down to who wins. But both of them have been playing really good all season in victories. Llama was playing really good. Even in that loss, he put up 40 points versus LDLC, which was a really fun game. It's practically gotten double-digit assists in 4 out of 6 games, which is really, really good. Getting that bonus. Be careful with the Shulk, who's starting for them. Gilius and Lurox, they've each played 3 games. Gilius started the last one. I think Gilius started the first 2, and then Lurox started the next 3, and then Gilius started the last one. So just be very careful if you can find out who's going to start. If I find out, I'll put it in the comments, but I'll try my best to figure that out. As for me, though, I probably would just will avoid him just to be safe if I can't find out. Elyoya, he dies the least out of all junglers, so I do kind of like that because usually when he's putting pressure in lanes, he usually doesn't end up dying, so I really do like him. And Llama Bear, for sure. Pretty, leads the slate on KDA, which I do really like. Really, really aggressive player, so if he puts that early pressure on Vatheo, which Vatheo does die a lot, this game's going to be a wrap. Like, it's just going to come down to that jungler and which one shows up to the lanes and puts that early pressure, I think, because Pretty thrives off of that. Then you got AD carry Attila, same thing with him. Plays really aggressive, but usually can capitalize on it just like Pretty. So it's just going to depend who shows up. The junglers, because Neon in the bot lane doesn't die a lot, but it's still going to come down to the jungler. I do like Java for Movie Star Riders as well. If I am playing them, he's obviously a key piece I'm going to put in there, like a double AD carry lineup with Java and Attila. I can see working out. And then you got Erdo for Vodafone Giants. Don't mind him. Nukes a lot. Rux. Yellow Star is my least favorite out of these guys, but like I mentioned, if you are playing Shulk, though, Neon is the key piece that I would build my lineup around if it came down to like Neon and Sturtis. Neon is the guy I will play with Shulk for sure. Then the teams, like I mentioned, Giants is my favorite play. Then I'm leaning Movie Star and then Shulk, but it's a close one. So like probably closer to tip off. I'll probably be like more definitive answer, but so right now it's just like 50-50. That's a close game in my opinion. Giants, I think, as long as they can show up and do what they were doing the first 4 games, even the 5th game, they should win. So I feel pretty good in them. Brady and Attila could carry them to victory, I think. But yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe. Hopefully we can all win some money. If not, we'll try again the next day. So let's do it. Thank you.